and American Revolution, supercharged for 2005. Powerade. And by UPS. What can Brown do for you?
All right, we welcome you back to Chicago with Bo Ryan in his 4th season. He was the coach of the year in this league in both 2002 and 03. And here are the lineups. Let's take a look at State Court. There's Mike Wilkinson. He's all Big Ten. Tucker, the hero yesterday. His 2nd buzzer beater, by the way, in March the 1st. He ended a game against Indiana with a winning shot. And there's Bruce Weber, this year's Coach of the Year. But the story, of course, this week in Chicago, all about Coach Weber and the loss of his mother Friday here in Chicago. And his lineup, as Billy, you alluded to, it's the same lineup for the Illini as a year ago. Hightower, Hillary, and Gray, the officials, as we'll settle things out in the Big Ten.
Well, if we had Devin Harris, complete repeat of last year.
One thing about the Badgers now, they'll go with the smaller lineup. Cameron Taylor, with the ball right now, starts instead of Andreas Helmet. He normally starts in the pivot. It's Tucker trying to create, as he so often does, and Powell pulls it down.
That'll be a tough matchup for Augustine because Tucker is very quick, penetrates well from outside, and with nobody in the low post, will have to go out and play him almost as a guard.
Billy, these teams met twice during the regular season. Illinois won both occasions, including the one up at Madison that ended Wisconsin's home win streak of 38 straight victories.
And in doing that, they scored 14 of the last 15 points to pull that game out.
They won by 10 and 11 in the 2 games. Illinois. So a turnover committed by this trip. They had a number of turnovers yesterday, forced by a feisty Minnesota squad. And Wilkinson comes up short with a little flip move.
2 good looks, though, that Wisconsin's had early in this ball game.
Head with the 3.
Kind of guided that shot.
And the Illini's top score wide of the mark.
It's kind of interesting, Morley having those great games off the bench. Not in the starting lineup, but nothing unusual for Bo Ryan. He likes to bring him off the bench. Double down by, he's open, and there he is.
It's Chambliss. Wilkinson found him, and the first 2 to the Badger.
Well, a 5th-year senior who's been outstanding in his career in the Big Ten doing his job, and there's that strength of Williams on the drive.
Pulled down by Wilkinson.
Williams, a very powerful lead guard, doesn't mind taking it in traffic. Normally will pass when he gets inside, but can deliver as well.
Wisconsin team 22-7, finished 3rd in the regular season in the league, 11-5 conference mark. And out for Wilkinson.
And you can see Wisconsin not going to be a good offensive rebounding team because there is nobody in the low post. Those rebounds will go to the quicker Illinois team.
Leap ahead with the floater in the lane. Illinois 31-1. Its only loss a week ago today at Ohio State. And even with its performance here in the quarters and yesterday in the semifinal, a lot of people feeling like Illinois has not been playing its best ball, even coming out of the loss to Ohio State, a reach-around call against D. Brown.
Jim, it's kind of interesting to see here the fact that he had 26 points in the game in Illinois that they won rather handily. But is one of the unusual things about him, he did not have a 3-point shot in that game. He was 0 for 3 from 3, still came up with a big day of 24 points.
He can do anything in a hurry.
Yeah, he can score on the break. He'll drive, as we saw that floater, and then he just hurts you with those outside shots.
Double up on Chambliss. Hansen puts it down low to Tucker. Working on Augustine. Augustine quite a presence there and defends.
Tucker is going to have to move quickly on Augustine. He won't be able to go over him on a power move.
Augustine at the other end.
Nice job for Illinois to go inside some to Augustine.
Wilkinson down low. Powell on his back, and again they try to double him up.
Boy, there's no cutters on that double. A cutter that time would have been Hansen. He'd had a layup.
Chambliss wide on a 3.
I think they're taking too many outside shots going into the running game.
D. Brown, he tries the 3.
Nice no call by the officials. 2 players going for the ball, nobody gaining an advantage.
Hansen from the corner with a 3. Yes!
Was Augustine caught on a switch, couldn't get out there in time.
Chambliss and Hansen in that backcourt for Wisconsin have struggled mightily from the floor in the Big Ten, coming in just 2 out of 15 from the field in the Big Ten tournament, but Hansen knocks down that one.
You know, it's interesting. Chambliss played in the Big Ten, as everybody knows, for Penn State, and led, actually, their club. There's a good putback by Powell. Led the Big Ten in free throw shooting 2 of those years, Jim, and now finds himself as an erratic shooter and not a really great free throw shooter. That's very unusual. Once you have that technique, you figure you're a keeper.
Chambliss, you'll find him in the Big Ten record book, top 10, that is, in three-pointers made.
As a Penn State player.
I was going to say the bulk of that coming over in State College.
You see how Augustine has to go out with Tucker almost playing him as a guard, and so far Tucker has not.
Power. What a nice shot, and he had the power move on the previous trip down the floor. They pull down the offensive rebound and a putback over the head. Powell's very underrated when you look at this group.
For the game in Illinois, he was 0 for 2 in that contest, so coming up early in this ball game is a factor. And he is the one fella on the floor, along with Wilkinson, who has made Wilkinson doing it last year, foul 2 years ago.
Taylor steps up, and it's loop ahead underneath.
Wisconsin really settling for a lot of jump shots.
Head steps right up, didn't put it on the floor. Too long with that one, and Wilkinson with the rebound. Wilkinson and D. Brown of Illinois, the only 2 unanimous all Big Ten selections this year. Of course, 3 of the starting 5 from Illinois made that first team.
Oh, we got 4 of the 5 out here on the floor right now.
Only one missing is Greer of Minnesota.
Vincent Greer very well the other day.
Chambliss, that one down and out.
Here comes Williams, where he's so tough. Look at that stop. It's amazing a guy with his weight and power to be able to stop on a dime like that.
He's ahead, back over to Augustine. And Illinois looking awfully savvy here at the start.
Well, Hansen fell down, and look at what's coming in from the sidelines, Jim.
Timeout called by Wisconsin. They're going to bring in 3 subs after the break as Illinois goes on a 7. Let's take a look at today's Applebee's neighborhood favorite. Back in 2000 in the NCAAs, a pair of Big Ten teams met in the Elite 8. Wisconsin and Purdue out west. West Regional Final. Roy Boone scored 12. 6 in the final 3 minutes. Wisconsin, the lowest seed to advance to the Final 4 since LSU in '86. Went on to win it, only to fall to another Big Ten team, Michigan State, at the Final 4. It was Augustine getting the pass from
What happened, Hansen got caught on a screen and stayed out, tried to fight his way over it. That let Augustine, who set the screen, wide open. Good job for Head to recognize.
All right, look at the subs in now for Wisconsin. Inbounding will be Zach Morley, who you could argue is positioned here with a big game today to get consideration for player of the tournament if Wisconsin won this thing and he played like he did the first 2 games. They've also brought in Michael Flowers, number 22, and Ray Nixon, number 4.
Nixon's had some pretty good success against Illinois coming off the bench. Morley just wasn't a mate. As you said, Jim, he has been the man of the hour here. He's being guarded by Williams now. Williams giving up size, but not strength.
Loop their head with the steal.
Wisconsin has to be very careful here not to get themselves in a situation where they get Illinois on a roll. Illinois has not played that effectively in this tournament, turning the ball over an awful lot, but they've been very efficient today.
Ingram into the lineup for Illinois, number 50.
Who was the win up at Wisconsin with those 2 3-point shots.
Very solid contributor, the big man getting it inside. Run around too strong, and Wilkinson crashes the boards.
That was a tough situation for Taylor to be caught on him, giving up a lot of size. Now, Morley hasn't been guarded by a smaller man in this tournament.
Morley with 23 points in the win against Ohio State and 17 yesterday.
You see Williams doing a lot of pushing.
Nixon, nice move, and gets it to go off the glass softly.
Nixon hit 3 of 6 from the three-point range in that loss at Wisconsin. They said he's played very well against Illinois.
That breaks a 4-minute drought for the Badgers. In front of the rim for Williams. And it's Wisconsin ball with a break on the floor. 11-7 start here for the Illini. Looking to take home that trophy. Do that so fast. Make all those X's.
Those are the fireworks. They're explosions.
Hey, we had a buzzer beater here yesterday. Let's hope something we're going to see a whole lot of coming up in the weeks ahead. Well, Londo Tucker knocking out Iowa.
Well, Jim, most coaches start talking about a second per dribble, and you can go ahead and occupy, let's say 5 or 6 feet for pushing that ball up. Tucker got every bit of that and released it at the perfect time.
Iowa, heartbreaking loss, but Hawkeyes in some eyes a bubble team, Billy, for the tournament. I think they're in.
Oh, I agree. I agree. And not only in, I think they're a team that will be very dangerous. Got good inside post presence, some excellent outside shooting, good ball handling.
Morley. And pulled away by the Illini. I like what I saw with him, and I see great prospects for next year, too. For
absolutely.
Now Alford's got a bunch that's coming back, everybody back.
And it's not like Alford hasn't been in the NCAA tournament before as both coach and player.
McBride, number 33 for Illinois, seeing action. He can fire it from the outside.
Well, I thought Williams was going to try to go baseline. It had the same angle as Brown had.
It's Powell with the putback. Second time. Nope. McBride.
Ooh, almost walked.
Yep. Like he went up and down, but Brown gets it. Dishes. Powell. And with all those attempts from the inside, you'll have to try to settle this trip at the free throw line. Take a little break on the floor. Looping ahead in his Wilkinson and Wisconsin.
Well, Jimmy, what do you think here? Iowa, I think they're in. UAB, that's a little bubble. I think Maryland's out. DePaul out. NC State, I think they're in.
Yeah, I do too.
Iowa State, I think they're in. Memphis, I think they're out. So
UAB, you're not sure about.
Yeah, I've got one bubbler there. I think the others have probably sealed their fate.
I like UAB to make it. I want to be close.
Well, you know,
they don't factor in what they did in last year's tournament.
Well,
of course, they shocked Kentucky.
Hey, how about this? There's a possibility now with Duke winning, they're going to be a #1. Maryland, who we had twice this year, has there ever been a situation where a guy in the #1 line has been beaten twice in the same year, home and away, by a guy that doesn't even get in the tournament, that is working on 11 straight NCAA tournament bids?
Can't imagine that's ever happened. Wilkinson with the putback into the line. So do you think Maryland deserves to get in? Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't think they do, based on particularly on their performance coming down the stretch. But that will be a trivia question for the future.
I know you're just ready to query Chairman Bowlesby and about that possibility that Maryland, if it's on the outside, when you start looking at maybe some of these mid-majors or smaller conference teams that are going to be in, and how would they do if they were, say, ACC teams?
Well, you know,
ACC.
Fortunately, we decide the National Basketball Championship by playing as opposed to voting, so that this is an exercise just to get into the tournament. You've got to earn your way there. But that is a question that I certainly hope they asked when it got down to the last few teams. What would happen if they played in the same league against the same kind of competition night in, night out?
Which is another bubble team. Might make it. Here's Ingram.
Nice move.
Yeah, working hard, and he able to get rewarded.
Ingram has kind of moved ahead of Smith a little bit in regard to this rotation. And although Smith has got the size, Ingram is much more versatile as an offensive player.
Smith is about to come in for the first time, and Augustine will return along with Luther Head. It's going the other way. It's going against Wisconsin.
That's McBride who did the push.
All right, let's talk about number. I'm going to say there's a team that's going to be a 1 seed that's not even on this list.
I think there's a team right there today that worked their way out of that #1 seed position.
Illinois, North Carolina, obviously locks. I think Duke's in.
This team last year I thought belonged in the #1 seed, and I'll tell you right now, I believe that they're one of the 4 best teams in the country. But, Jim, you don't think they're going to be on that one line?
I think they're one of the best 4 teams, too. I agree with you, but I don't think that the late season play is going to end up giving them a #1 seed. I think Washington might be able to sneak in there now that Kentucky's loss. What do you think? Won the Pac-10 last night. 27.
Wilkinson need to recognize Williams guarding him. He had low post position and didn't get it.
Chambliss missing on another three.
Well, that's three that Chambliss has missed on so far, Jim, and every one of them went right down inside and came out. Didn't get the soft touch.
Williams, he wants it, gets it.
Pretty good defense against him. Williams has nice range, and he's very selective as to when he takes the three. You very seldom see him take a bad shot on the perimeter.
Doubled up the Badgers. We're shooting only 21%.
And we're talking about a team that normally shoots 44, and against Illinois in 2 games has averaged 46%. So Illinois doing a real good job. Shots not falling right now, particularly for Chambliss.
Flowers lost focus, and the ball turned over back to Illinois, and back in is Cameron Taylor for Flowers.
Illinois doing a nice job going to the bench. Powell getting the rest. Ingram's here. It's been really a team effort. It hasn't just been this perimeter play that's controlled this game.
Nick Smith, the 7-footer, and a travel call on Luther Head. You know, you made a good case for Oklahoma State, and obviously no one wants to see them in their bracket, but you didn't respond when I said Washington maybe is a 1. What do you think?
I think that they could certainly make a case for it, and the West Coast, with everybody talking Arizona, Gonzaga, Washington has moved themselves into a very solid program
this year, including last night in the Pac-10 championship. Arizona.
Where are the points going to come from? I think that they've got to get Tucker the ball some more. Let him go on Augustine. Finally.
Yep, Taylor with the 3.
In the ball game, you remember last year, Jim, in Indy, Wisconsin took control of Illinois, just kind of like this is in reverse here today. They were just a problem and really forced Illinois to take bad shots.
Augustine to the basket.
This Illinois team today looks like the one that earned their way to the #1 spot.
Much sharper than we had seen here on this floor the last 2 days. Wisconsin needs to get Tucker going, as you mentioned. He's 0 for 3, and now he walks. So a break on the floor with Illinois looking strong at the start.
What you waiting for? Step your game up. Go come on in the door. Step your game up. Drop it to the floor and just step your game up. You with you finna step your game up.
You see here.
Well, Jim, in the 2 games these 2 teams have played against each other, in both games, they both shot 46%. You can see that Illinois right on target, but Wisconsin having all kinds of problems getting their shooting percentage up. And Morley's back in the ball game now. Tucker is out of there. I think they may have to go with Morley, Wilkinson, and Tucker and forget about lineup from Illinois and see if they can get some points on the board. They're getting killed on the boards, and they're not scoring.
Williams, and a check foul called against
Chambliss on the reach.
That's Chambliss. And near the conclusion of this game, we'll select the Chevrolet player of the game from each team to honor their determination and outstanding play. Chevrolet contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. Chevy, the American Revolution, continues its support of the NCAA athletics. Nixon back in for Wisconsin.
Sometimes you have players that just seem to play well against certain teams. Beautiful spin.
Unable to finish, though. Powell, he has worked hard in this one. Made all Big Ten tournament 2 years ago on this floor. Taylor pull up.
No offensive rebounds. Illinois controlling the paint inside. There was a bad pass. The Paints had not hit it. They've gone out of bounds. Nice break for Illinois. This is the kind of matchup Head wants. He's quicker.
Brown sets up the 3.
You don't see that often from this team, Jim. Very seldom Illinois, any of their players, dribble the ball and slow things down. That ball is usually...
You take the top 3 players for Wisconsin in this tournament, Morley, Wilkinson, and Tucker. They are a combined 0 for 6 from the field.
And Tucker is not on the floor as we speak.
Over to Morley. Blocked by Augustine.
Boy, Augustine covers a lot of territories and understands how to take position. And he's a great double down man.
With their head on the drive. Comes up shy, and Morley underneath.
I thought Morley fouled head on that play, and a good block out by Powell to set a lane for head. He just couldn't convert.
Defensively, Wisconsin's buttoned down here the last couple of trips.
But where do their points come from, Jim?
They got to get it from their main guys like Wilkinson.
They're taking jump shots, very little cutting, very little low poke in the game. I think that's a good move.
Foul before the shot. Talk about Augustine doing so many things well.
Without question, Jim. This guy has developed into one of the premier players. He doesn't get the credit because there's so much high profile. You got 3 all-conference first-teamers that he's playing with, but he is a very solid college player.
Warren Carter has come in as Augustine will get a little rest. Carter, number 41 for Illinois. Ingram back on the floor as well. Return to the Wisconsin lineup along with Tucker.
Jim, back to Augustine for a second. He leads the Big Ten in field goal shooting percentage, 6th in blocks and 7 in rebounds, and very seldom occupies the ball, which really enables that guard combo to work.
Ingram off the feed from Brown. And Illinois has a 10-point lead for the first time today.
Ingram is on Morley. This gives Morley the first opportunity to take his man. Playing to have some quickness advantage.
Traveling called. Reinforced by Coach Weber from the bench.
Yeah, did a pretty nice job refereeing. And he's done a pretty nice job this year taking a team that had a lot of focus on him in the Big Ten. And with the exception of that Ohio State game, didn't have one single blemish in their way.
It's Brown. And I like that comment that Bo Ryan made yesterday to you about Zach Morley's play the last 2 games. He said something to the effect of, want to check his DNA and make sure it's really Morley the way he's played. Big rebound at the other end. Let's see if he can get on track offensively. Here he is, Morley.
Well, they've got it inside. Can't get anything to fall. How about that crossover?
Rejection. Tucker. None of that.
Tucker's running.
And taken away by Ingram.
How about the solid play by Ingram off the bench?
5 turnovers committed by the Badgers. They've made only 4 shots. 4 out of 19 and 5 turnovers.
And they had 16 assists and only 6 turnovers yesterday. So not the ball club that we saw in that fine victory over Iowa.
Good board by Flowers. Hard to imagine minutes into this game. Tucker, Wilkinson, and Morley yet to make a shot from the field. They've gone as a team now over 5 minutes without a field goal.
You know, Jim, I'm going to give a lot of credit to that, to this Illinois defense. They have done a fine job matching up. Powell now on Tucker inside.
5 on the shot clock. Ingram on Flowers. He has to put it up. Kept alive, Morley, and no whistle. Morley thought he was fouled. It's Brown off and running.
Williams out of there ball handling wise, doesn't it? And speaking of Illinois, he's taking a little break. He's coming right back in. He and Augustine are on the sidelines. They don't have that same fluid motion, however, when he's not on the floor.
No question. 12 points for Wisconsin in 17.5 minutes.
And this is a good matchup. Powell on Tucker.
Morley fires the three, and there he goes at last.
But you know what, Jim? When you're down 22-15 and have gone on a drought for this long, that's only 7. Not going to be played in the 80s, but to hang in there this long is pretty good.
You'd think they would have been blown off the floor by now.
Absolutely.
They had just gone 6 minutes without a hoop till the three by Morley. And you see 6, Billy? Oh, what's this, 7?
I'm going 7. I think that team that would make them 7 is Notre Dame.
Don't think so.
Oh, I think Notre Dame's getting in there.
Bet you a cheeseburger on that.
Oh, boy.
Big 12, you got 6?
Well, you know, that one, I think so. I think Iowa State's in there.
Okay.
I think the Big East is going to get that 7th team. You going to tell me that there are 34 at-larges better than Notre Dame? Look at some of their wins. I realize they did them on their home. Brian, that's a pretty good ball club.
Yep.
Good guards, senior leadership in the backcourt. Some power players we saw control in the paint, Connecticut. And not many teams can do that.
I thought they needed to get 1 game in the Big East tournament. Smith. Hook shot.
Good blocked out by Butch.
Butch into the game for the first time. 6'11" freshman from Appleton.
Now with 1:40 to go, you need 2 good possessions here for Wisconsin. Augustine, let's see what he can do with Tuck.
Big second half yesterday, including the game winner. You made the good point going to the break, Billy. This has the tenor of this has the feeling of a blowout, but it's anything but.
Yeah, this is the kind of game you're supposed to be ahead double.
Time out on the floor, Wisconsin ball when we come back. $1 million. Text play to 26222 on your wireless phone. You'll get 20 questions for 20 chances to win a trip to the men's Final Four and a shot at $1 million. Inside of 2 hours till we get things going. And the exclusive live announcement of the field for the road to St. Louis, the March to the Arch, some are calling it.
Jim, one of the things that Illinois has not shot well from the outside. They're 11 for 40 from three-point line in this tournament. In a game like this, you'd have expected them to explode a little bit from 3 and get this margin up a little bit, but they haven't been able to do it.
Kick on Williams. Ed Hightower just re-emphasized it was left ankle.
I think Williams got it with the hand and then with the foot. So he really has a point where I did get it with a hand, but he also did get it with a foot. Good job by the official to pick it up. Illinois is only 2 for 8 from 3 today, and that's when you get those working margins for a team that's so good out there on the perimeter.
Keep thinking Tucker's going to get something going. There he goes. Wait.
Wow, that ball was not blocked, and he did not hit his arm. Was that just a shot? It's hard to believe.
We've got the singular at the half coming with Greg, Clark, and Seth. Scores and highlights, and the latest tournament news coming up. Iowa's saying right now back at home, where was that yesterday? Augustine again in the right place.
Butch went up. He anticipated the play perfectly, but then he didn't make a strong grab of the ball. Turned it into an assist. That should have been Wisconsin ball.
With a 9-point Illinois lead.
Oh, great defense that time by Williams.
Smith with the reject.
They are playing hard-nosed defense.
Hanson with the 3. Yes, that's a big one.
How about that? 2 teams get breaks after the other guy plays good defense.
Never believe it. It's only a 6-point lead for Illinois. Final 10 seconds of the half.
A 6-point lead, and the score where Wisconsin probably likes it as far as the tempo of the game.
Oh, yes. Williams with this. We've reached the half with Illinois leading 26-18. And let's go to New York and Greg Gumbel.
Big Ten Conference Tournament is sponsored by Michelin, a better way forward. The first ever G6 and Pontiac, official performance machines of the NCAA. And by Allstate, Are you in good hands?
Before we begin the second half, take a look at the stats. And one thing that stands out, Dee Brown, the Big Ten Player of the Year, without a made shot from the field, 0 for 6. Field goal percentages on Wisconsin.
Jim, 24% will get you nowhere, but if you look up at the score, and I keep talking about this, only down 8 points, shooting 24%. That's got to make you feel like you've got a shot to get back in this thing.
Well, Hansen hitting a couple of threes.
Now here is the great move without the ball. Nice screen down and low.
Billy, this is your Pontiac game changer. Go ahead.
Here's Augustine. Ball hit. Now you see Head taking off to the basket. Wisconsin, Wilkinson not sure what to do. He makes his move. It's too late. Good bounce pass for the score.
Billy, I talked about Dee Brown not making a shot in that first half, and look at the shot chart for Dee.
Yeah, and those shots out on the perimeter were wide open looks, Jim. He didn't hit him. He's 0 for 6 right now. Not characteristic for this young man.
3 assists, but blanked in the first half.
And he has 9 for 3 yesterday, 2 for 12 overall, and now that's so he's 2 of his last 18 shots.
Well, we have a moment before the second half begins. Let's go back and look at some of the other bubble teams, Billy. We continue to look through the field, and St. Mary's, I got to think St. Mary's is in.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that St. Joe's is probably out. GW lost there. That was probably going to be a one-team conference this year. I really don't have a handle on the Buffaloes. You like to see teams who have had good success, which they've had. What's really amazing, Jim, is the RPI of those teams is really outstanding.
In the past, if you were in the top 40, like Buffalo is, like Miami, Ohio is,
right,
you would get in. I mean, there wouldn't even be any question about it. But again, the RPI was tweaked here in the last 6 months, waiting now a road win and also a bigger penalty for a home loss.
Mid-major schools an opportunity because you know that they're not going to get the power teams to come to their place to play. So I think it was a good intention by the committee, but I think it's the time to sit down and just say who would win a game between Buffalo and Team X. I think you've got to make some gut decisions there, and I'm sure they are.
There are those out there. As everyone has an opinion over this weekend. If Buffalo is going to make the field, you see it.
Yeah, I'm not the guy to ask, Jim. I really am not. I really have not seen their team play, and I would go ahead and defer to the guys, and has also seen some teams play in the power conference and just say, who knows basketball, and said, I think Team A would beat Team B if they played a 5-game series. I think that's what it gets down to, more of a gut call than it is any kind of statistical comparison, because there aren't many.
All right, Billy, with again the second half, Illinois leading by 8.
The other thing Illinois has to feel good about in this ball game, although they're not shooting well and they're not getting the big game out of ground twice.
Augustine works the baseline to get it back up to 10.
They had 39 turnovers in the 2 previous Big Ten games, but only turned it over twice, more in keeping with the way they handle the ball. And that's what's put them in a solid position to have a nice working margin here.
Tucker trying to get on track, and too strong as Augustine stood his ground.
Great defense by Augustine.
Inside Powell, and the ball last touched by Illinois, they say. Back to the Badgers. Well, we saw Tucker miss on that first trip of the half, and again, Morley made a 3, but Morley, Wilkinson, and Tucker combined now are 1 for 13 from the field.
Jim, I think that Wisconsin is going to have to get Morley in the game with Tucker and Wilkinson to get some points and not worry about defending Illinois on the outside and the perimeter. Just Tucker, somebody's going to have to be the third player in the backcourt.
There's Tucker and his first 2.
Good movement without the ball.
And a great for the assist. Talking about with Wilkinson, the winningest player in Wisconsin history. And he's the next now that has to get off that poor start from the field. And head walk. And that is the call. Everything you need to fill out your brackets on CBS Sports Line. They have bracket games, printable brackets. It's all right there. Just click on brackets at cbssportsline.com.
And Jim, many times when you playing against a team that's had such a good record as Illinois, as a coach, what you try to do is to match up with them. And that is not working today. And so maybe it's time to see if they can match up with you. And that's why I'm saying that lineup, it would be an unusual lineup for Wisconsin of Morley, Tucker, and Wilkinson. Maybe makes Illinois have to make some changes.
It's the second I mentioned Wilkinson, along with Clayton Hansen, a senior. They are the winningest class in the history of Wisconsin basketball. 90 wins in their 4 years. It's looks, and he rattles it home for a three.
Boy, in the first half, you remember he had 3 good looks like that from 3. They just wouldn't drop for him. Match up inside, about equal in size. Powell a little bit stronger. Boy, he's backing down. He wants the ball. They won't fight. They won't give him the ball.
Williams, pure.
You know, Jim, as a sophomore, you remember when he broke that jaw and came back? Well, part of that comeback was a 31-point performance against Wisconsin. He was known primarily as a ball hunter, not a shooter coming out of high school. But
Wilkinson rejected underneath. Badgers maintain control with 17 minutes to go, 31-23. Wisconsin putting up only 18 in the first half. That's a season low for them. Luther head back to the bench. McBride takes his position on the floor. It's Tucker driving and rejected. Augustine and last Tucker.
what a great timing block that time by Augustine. He is really an outstanding athlete. Quick, and even though he's playing against a smaller forward, he timed that beautifully.
He has 3 blocks in the game. Been their best player on the floor in this one. Powell. Right back to Powell. Somehow that one doesn't drop. And the whistle on the Badgers. After all these, the last week, and a number of the top teams falling early, look at the top 25 teams with win streaks going into the tournament.
How about this? Syracuse, that was really on a roll going in the wrong direction, now becomes one of the winningest teams in the country by winning the Big East tournament and being, hey, we've won 3 in a row. Does that sound possible?
Well, you have Washington there.
Yeah.
There's a 3-game win streak. Interesting, the debate they had in the studio at halftime, Seth and Clark. Seth had a
wow. There's no way they're on
the RPI.
No, there's no way they're on the 3
I still got them as a 1.
Yeah, I think they're the 4-5 team.
Clark had them as a 2.
Yeah,
you think they're the 4-5?
They're either the last guy on the first line or the first guy in the second.
What's interesting about that, Billy, of course, this is something you were calling for a long time, to seed all the teams. And last year, as we see a travel call on Taylor, last year they did that, and the 4-5 ended up being St. Joe's local regional final.
Right. Now, they only seeded 1 through 4. I want to see them seed 1 all the way through 65.
And you'd also like to see some adjustments down the line.
Well, no, then just let it play out. And when you get to the Final Four, the highest seeded team plays the lowest seeded team that gets there.
At the Final Four, you're looking for that adjustment.
Right. Williams, oh boy, he is so unselfish.
Oh, he gets the 3.
And they needed McBride to get alive. He's been in a slump lately. Williams, who is so unselfish, making the extra pass. Because you're right, Jim, he had room to take his jump shot. And has been hitting them. Starting to widen this margin up right now. And since Wisconsin has not shown they can put a lineup on the floor that scores, this is a big spread.
You talk about a margin, widening the margin. It's the largest of the game. 12-point lead, the Illini.
It's delivered by UPS.
And let's take a look at our UPS conference update. And you look at the conference breakdown out of the Big Ten in the last 5 years. This is something we discussed yesterday. Only 3 bids a year ago. Wisconsin, Michigan State, and Illinois.
And you know what's interesting? Wisconsin winning this Big Ten championship last year. Remember where they were seeded, Jim? They were a 6.
Yep. Off the win. Off the tournament win.
Yep.
I think we're looking at 5 here today. What do you think?
Well, you know, a league like the Big Ten had their postseason conference champion get a 6th seed really didn't speak very highly of the league last year. I think they'll do better this time.
Obviously, these two teams on the floor are in, along with Michigan State, Minnesota, and you would think maybe Iowa. Right? We both agree in. That would be 5. Indiana hoping.
No, I don't think Indiana's. I think they had an opportunity in this tournament to earn their way there, and they didn't get it done.
2 seconds on the shot clock.
Oh, is that a foul from behind?
Flowers with 1 on the clock, 1 on the shot clock.
Jim, how often have we seen that? Now, offensive players see that clock. Defensive players have their back turned so they don't see it, but they have to have a feel, and they have to let that clock be one of their helpers.
Tonight on 60 Minutes, George Lucas has finished his last Star Wars and gives a sneak preview. That's coming up tonight on 60 Minutes. Of course, has his back turned to the shot clock. He should look at the shot clock at the other end of the floor.
But I think, you know, when you're used to playing defense and you're out there on the floor, just an instinctive feel, and you know you don't want to commit a foul as that thing is getting down under 3 seconds.
As pure a shot as we've seen from Williams. How does he step to the line and miss a pair of free throws? But he just did. Nixon on the blocks. Goes right up with it. Tipped out to Powell.
Seems like Illinois has gotten every loose ball bounce too today.
So this one goes to Flowers. Wisconsin rapidly to the front court. Morley double down. Yep.
Double teamed on the catch. No place to go.
Timeout called away from the ball by Flowers.
That was a pretty good move by Flowers. Normally you see it's the man that's in trouble, but Flowers recognized, covered for his teammate.
3 with 5.1 seconds remaining, giving the Buckeyes the lead. Powell misfires it, and Pontiac donates $5,000 to Ohio State's General Scholarship Fund. Tucker working down low, and he's pushed from behind by Augustine.
And you know, Tucker is saying, hey, this has been going on all day. How come that's the first time I've got the call?
You start looking at this Illinois team that you have to think, again, go ahead, Billy.
Jim, here, the lineup that's on the floor right now, and I realize it's getting a little bit late, just down 12. This is the lineup that I thought would be most effective poorly on the floor. I thought this lineup could score.
Great defensive pressure applied by Illinois. It's Tucker. Nowhere to go. Turnaround, too strong.
Nice job by Morley. It hits underneath the backboard.
So it'll be Illinois ball. Oh, I thought Morley tipped it.
I had a pretty good angle on that. I think Morley touched it last.
So it'll be instead Wisconsin inbounding underneath.
With a full 35. Let's see how this lineup operates. 2 guards, 3 big guys. I don't know why.
It looks like stopped action, so they could go and explain to Bruce Weber.
I don't see that at all. The ball hit the rim, so therefore, if it went out of bounds and Wisconsin got it, as the referee saw, you'd have a new 35.
I think Coach Weber felt there shouldn't be a new 35.
Well, you know what he also thinks? He likes playing in this gym. They've got 13 straight. There's no question that Morley touched it.
Ball went the other way. You talk about Coach Weber in this gym. 5 years to head Southern Illinois, and he was in this arena with the Southern Illinois Salukis in the tournament back in 2002, and they pulled off a couple of upsets to make it to the Sweet 16. They beat Texas Tech and Georgia here. Here you see the tip. Looked like it touched Morley last.
Well, in either case, the officials are looking at it. Now, I don't know if they're looking at it because you get a timing situation here, Jim. If it was not tipped, I mean, they have to say that Morley touched it or they wouldn't have given Wisconsin the ball. The ball hits the rim without question. So you got a new 35. He never had possession, but I think that Morley certainly is the last guy to touch it going out of bounds. I thought it should have been Illinois' ball going the other way with 35 seconds in their favor. You can't go ahead and worry about the shot clock in this situation because they awarded the ball to Wisconsin.
They got it at 25 on the shot clock. The crowd unsure of what's happening here, just knows it's unhappy.
Morley down inside with Williams. Smaller player, can he score over it?
Left-handed, yes.
This is the lineup that I think has one chance to get Wisconsin back in the game, and they're going to have to show they can in the next 3 minutes. Who is the odd man? It's going to be Tucker's going to be the odd man having to play a guard defensively.
Williams, no. And nice board again by Michael Flowers.
Flowers having a pretty solid game. And now, if you're Chambliss, what you want to do is forget about outside play. Get the ball to Tucker, bad ball handling.
Arrow belongs to Wisconsin. Tonight on CBS 60 Minutes, again, George Lucas with a preview of the latest and last Star Wars. And then it's Cold Case, followed by Bruce Greenwood in Saving Millie. D. Brown back on the floor.
Now, Hansen, they keep the big three out there, and they bring in a new set of guards to Wisconsin. And now Brown comes into the ball game. That means Tucker's probably going to have to guard Williams, as he won't be quick enough to stay on Brown or Head.
Morley. Head clears quickly.
Can Brown start hitting some jump shots?
How about Luther Head? Yes.
See, here's the problem. You go to the three big guys to try to go ahead and get some offense, but now you have the tough matchup getting back down court defensively. And if Brown or Head start making those three-point shots, my theory is going to have to win that.
That increases the lead with that jumper to the largest of the game, 13. Wilkinson will head to the line.
And there was Augustine again, helping out, making Wilkinson have to change what would have been an easy layup to a hard shot.
As a #1 seed, Illinois twice before. 1989, lost in Seattle to Michigan on the Saturday. And then we saw just a couple of years ago also a #1. Will be for certain the #1 seed when the brackets are revealed. An hour from now here on CBS.
Jim, everybody's been talking about when Illinois was on that run about going undefeated, and they go back to 76 for Indiana. You got to go back a long way to find a team that won a national championship with one loss, too. You've got to go all the way back to 1974. NC State had one loss that year. The team that beat them is the team that they beat in the semifinals, UCLA. So, you know, you go back beyond the undefeated reach as to when a team with just one loss made it.
That's along the line. There would have been someone might have been able to do that. A couple of years ago, it looked like Duke might be able to do it in '99 before UConn beat them in the final. The first championship for Calhoun and company. Powell, three-point try, top of the key, yes.
Powell has been focused this entire ball game. We mentioned he made all tournament
2 years ago right here.
When Illinois won right here, so game today. And now the fans can sense it. Boy, how about the job Williams is doing on Tucker?
Wilkinson outside, way off.
That ball was kicked.
But a foul first. Foul called on Head.
Head tried to go ahead and get in there, and he might have got a little piece of Tucker.
The floor. Illinois shooting 63% of this half to open it up to 14.
Is sponsored by the U.S. Postal Service. Just about anything you can do at the post office, you can do at USPS.com. Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Call 1-800-RENT-A-CAR. Pick Enterprise, we'll pick you up. And by the Hartford Mutual Funds, official corporate partner of the NCAA.
Well, the heart is pounding for these teams that'll make their first appearance in the NCAA field, including Oakland team, Delaware State, Alabama A&M, Southeast Louisiana. Congratulations to all four. Oakland, by the way, on the eve of Thanksgiving, played Illinois this year, and Illinois beat them by 35. You have to figure Oakland will be in that play-in game, not play-in, that first-round game, I guess is what they call it now.
Up in Dayton, yeah.
Yep.
What I saw today, I think it's like 19 teams who've gotten into the NCAA tournament since this process started with losing records.
Oakland upsetting Oral Roberts in their tournament final. 10 seconds to go on the shot clock here. Butch will take it from the outside, and the freshman unable to hit it.
I tell you, the score right now, 41-27, and it looks without question Illinois is in total control of this ball game. And I've got to credit, Jim. I realize Wisconsin hasn't shot the ball well, but I've got to credit just great defense. It has really shut them down. There have not been a lot of good looks except very early in the ball game. They're shooting 24%. Sometimes when you're shooting 24, you're handling the ball poorly, taking bad shots. But in this case, Illinois is just taking away the good looks that Wisconsin normally gets.
Just making them work for everything at the offensive end.
And defense is always more consistent when you're playing hard than his outside shooting.
Foul before the shot called on Tucker. Madness. Access live video to all games outside of your viewing area, plus live tournament press conferences, highlights, and more. Sign up for NCAA March Madness on demand only at ncaasports.com or cstv.com. That was actually called on Butch, that last foul.
Oh, good cut.
Howell missed at the end and muscles for the rebound.
And you know, if you're Wisconsin, Illinois this year has to look like Michigan State looked to them. You know, in the last 13 games, they had 3 losses that year that they went to the Final Four in 2000. And all 3 of those were to Michigan State in almost exact replicas each game.
I think we were there for most of them.
Yeah, it seemed like it.
I'll never forget the one in Indianapolis. 53-41 win by the Spartans, and that shot off the mark by the numbers.
4-on-1.
Over to Luther Head.
Oh, nice job by Hansen.
Yeah, Hansen
not the 4-on-1.
He just put the clamps on that break.
And Brown has still not been a factor offensively. He's played solid defense.
Just took his mouthpiece out and just threw it down on the court. He's so frustrated right now. Has not had a good tournament.
No, he really has not. He has not. He didn't shoot the ball well. His hustle is there, but he's not been very productive offensively.
Tucker surprisingly quiet today. And it's Augustine, they say, over the shoulder. That's a big reason why it's been tough for Tucker. Augustine's met him so many times in the paint, been there to defend. 1 out of 9 is all to this point for Orlando Tucker. It's the 4th foul on Augustine, who will head to the bench.
Well, Tucker yesterday had the great game, 7 for 12, the 20 points, 3 rebounds, and the game-winning shot. But you're right, Augustine has really played some outstanding defense on him today. And here's the other guy that's played pretty good defense on him at Williams, giving up some size. Look out.
Up ahead, Luther Head.
There's speed for you. This game is history, Jim. Because Wisconsin took it out of Illinois last year. Basically the same players that Illinois has on the floor. They have reversed it here today at the Illini. Look at this. They can't even find a place to pass.
Wilkinson and Ingram thought he had a clean play on it. Instead, a foul call. Brown to Head.
How about Brown ahead to Head? Terrific play. He just came out of there. You know what's interesting? If Head hadn't had that kind of a clean break, I thought Brown was ready to take that thing 90 feet. He is so fast. We talked yesterday about, is it 1 or 2 steps that get him at full speed?
I think it's 1. Back in is Carter for the Illini, and Williams will sit.
Jim, you mentioned about Wilkinson being the winningest player at Wisconsin. I think what else is interesting, you know, he redshirted the first year. He's the only active player with 1,400 assists, 150 steals, and 100 blocks. That's a pretty good all-around player, you know, that gives you solid defense. Never caused a problem. Comes to work every day. He helped a lot of people win that Pelican.
Turnover forced. Wilkinson has. He's done so many things through his career, and it's going to continue in the NCAAs next week. 6 points in this game for the all Big Tenner, but all of them have come from the free throw line.
Tucker having problems getting shots. Wilkinson hadn't had a field goal. That's just good defense.
Chambliss way off on a three. Tucker has the position, and he gets the putback.
Almost Tucker's Lorenzo Charles imitation there.
Luther head. And it's Illinois ball. 43-31 inside 8 minutes. This half, it wasn't much better in the first half. Jim Nance with Billy Packer.
Right on that 24, Jim. Yep. It hasn't changed. And again, I don't think it's as much Wisconsin as it is just outstanding defense by Illinois.
Billy, how about for Illinois? You look at this team, lost a week ago. They're playing. Any lingering effects from the loss to the Buckeyes? Are they going to be going into the tournament full throttle, do you feel? What do you think?
Oh, I think so. And I think that people will find them hard to play against, because very seldom do you play against 3 guards that can operate so well as this team does. And I think that people will maybe underrate Powell and Augustine in terms of how effective they are defensively. Now, I think this Illinois team's for real. And they could have some problems with some clubs that really have some power, but with that ability to shoot, and of course, you know, everybody talking about Wake Forest maybe being a #1 seed. You remember what they did to Wake Forest.
They beat Wake Forest when Wake was ranked #1 back on December 1st. Had Luther had 3. Luther might be making a case for tournament MVP. You know, one thing about Illinois that is so rare, you look at this team. First, take a look at Chambliss on the drive.
Rebound. This is a veteran club, too. You know, these guys have been around.
And they don't have Augustine on the floor right now, but when you look at their starting 5, they have started every game this season. Ingram. Long on the 3. Powell continues to work aggressively inside, and it's going to Wisconsin. Now maybe an overrule.
And Jim, you just saw Ingram take a shot. The other thing that I think may be a little underrated is what they've been able to get, not out from the same people, but I think that Ingram does a fine job coming off the bench. You know that Smith has been actually been a starter for them in years past. Doesn't make mistakes. Can eat up some fouls and give them some minutes.
Called on Wilkinson, but how about you just think of the way a season unfolds? It's not that often that you see a team with the same lineup, the same starting lineup every single game. That's been the case with Illinois, with all 5 starters yesterday in double figures. Augustine also an MVP candidate.
Well, the other thing that it tells you is that they have been healthy. You know, one of the things that's going to be interesting about this committee, with a lot of teams this year affected by injuries, it'll be interesting to see what credits they gave for some losses maybe at the times that they didn't have a full squad. But this team has been healthy all year long.
When you say not healthy all season long, to mind. Georgia Tech losing in the final, and a tight one today. Duke winning that tournament again. Underneath, and the dunk by Tucker.
Georgia Tech, Jim, a team that just 2 weeks ago you could have put really on the bubble if you didn't factor in any injury situation.
Ingram lost control for a moment. Put back Powell.
Powell wanting a call, not there. You might as well keep right on playing. You know, it is amazing if Wisconsin had gotten anything going at all offensively today. They could be in this ball game. Here's a 3.
Tucker with the 3 brings it to 10.
I mean, they're down 10. You could get under double figures here and have had no offense.
Tucker scoreless in that first half, has 9 here in the second stanza.
Wisconsin right now 3 away from their point-winning total of their one national championship. They got 39 that day in a 39-34 win over Washington State. Of course, it wasn't a few years ago.
Going back, what, 64 years.
So if they get 3 more, they can equal that total.
Taylor.
There it is.
Well, the other thing is, maybe it's not over. Down to 7.
We declared this over.
Okay. 8-0 run. After word got back to the bench that it was over. It's Williams.
Wow.
And a reach-in call against Illinois.
I always have liked cheese, Jim, if I have to eat some.
Cheese on your crow. That's the 7th foul, so a 1-on-1 coming up. You look at the Big 12 Conference, and, well, we've projected 6 teams, including Iowa State.
Terrific run at the end of the year by Iowa State. Remember that game going in there and beating Kansas on their home floor. Pretty impressive.
Cameron Taylor at the line. Absolute dead ringer for Chris Rock.
This is amazing when you look at this score. 46-40, Wisconsin basketball.
This could get very interesting here, Mr. Packer.
But you've got Tucker and Wilkinson and Morley on the floor. They've gone with the 3 bigs and the 2 small, and it's been effective.
The lead had been 16, and it's down to 5.
Now, can Brown, who has been a guy that's been kind of magic in games that got like this year, can he get something going? Nice job by Taylor.
Head driving. Beautiful move.
Most valuable player of the Big Ten tournament right there, Jim. He has been the man for this team all 3 games.
Wilkinson outside, and he answers right back. His first shot from the floor.
Much more difficult team for Illinois to play against with these 3 big players.
Nick Smith back in for Illinois. Baron Williams. Morley tap. Back out to head.
Boy, Williams just knocked it loose.
All the way over to Williams. And a flat-footed rebound is all it takes for Taylor. Wisconsin looks to trim some more. Badger ball with a break in the action. 48-43. Things got interesting here in Chicago for the Big Ten Tournament Championship. Continues. 50 minutes until our exclusive live announcement. Illinois, the lead is now 5. How about the comeback? What has been the trigger point for them?
I really think it's been the fact that they've gone to the lineup with the 3 bigs, Morley and Tucker and Wilkinson, has caused that Illinois has out there. Illinois still playing, obviously, with their regular starting lineup. Jim, the real key in this ball game, too, is the fact that Brown is 0 for 6. We know last year, remember, he slumped, and then he had shot over 45% from 3 those last 11 games. Look at Tucker go in there.
Yeah, Tucker came to the ball, but missed on the reverse layup. Tough shot.
Brown pulls up, didn't look for the shot, and probably wise. But he has come up with some games where he's not really up to par.
Here goes
1. Nope. 0 for 7. That's huge. When you've got a player that's a Big Ten Player of the Year having an 0 for 7 game, really distracting.
Speaking of huge, that would have been. Augustine comes in.
I don't think that was a good shot to take. Go down inside against Wilkinson, let Morley take advantage of the matchup. Hence the guy that looks like he wants to take some shots.
Eight-second shot clock. Back out to Brown.
Brown's got to keep it. Here he goes. Let's see if he can score. Nope.
Haven up. Moves ahead outside over Wilkinson. Tipped out back to Wilkinson, and the Badgers again can cut into that 5-point deficit.
Jim, that was not a good sign for Illinois. Brown is the kind of guy, when he's got the ball out there, has got to make a play, not give it us teammates at a disadvantage with the clock working against him.
Under 2 minutes. It's turned into a tight one here at the Big Ten Tournament Final.
That was the right place to go with the ball.
Wilkinson
Inside.
cleared quickly. Augustine out to Brown. Here we go. And a reach-around foul on Taylor.
I'll tell you another thing I noticed. Illinois did not get down in that break. Williams was slow. Ed was slow. Powell was dragging a little bit.
Here's the CBS Sportsline stat of the game. And you look at Wisconsin, barely over 20%. 7 out of 17 from 3. And a reminder that you can get your complete game stats at cbssportsline.com. That's just the 6th team foul on Wisconsin. So no 1-on-1. Next one will be.
Is showing some signs of being tired as Illinois right now, Jim. That kind of surprised me. Normally they get out on the break and just fly. Head's the only one that looks like he's really got full quickness. Brown has the quickness, but he doesn't want the shot.
Wisconsin comeback has missed now 10 of its last 11.
And trying to use some clock.
1:30 to go.
Got a 2-possession game right here, so when it gets down, they probably want to make sure that ball's in Williams' hands to make a play, because Brown didn't make the play the last time he had it.
Williams with 7. Hanson defending. Kicks it out. Brown, can he get one?
Wow, 0 for 8. Really upset with himself.
Wisconsin's had some chances to cut into that 5-point deficit. Tucker unable to make it from 3, and over the back Wilkinson. We've got an update. We're going to send you back to the studio and Greg Gumbel.
All right, Jim and Billy, the Big 12 championship is now final. Texas Tech within 3 here, under 10 seconds to play. Ronald Ross's three-pointer is off the mark. John Lucas adds a free throw. Oklahoma State, the winner, 72-68. Back to you.
Thank you, Greg. Oklahoma State, there's your team. Bill, you say, is one of the 4 top seed on that one line, but a win to take the Big 12.
Well, of the teams I've seen this year, they are certainly one of the best 4 teams in the country.
Oh, look at that one. Go in on a 1-on-1 for Powell.
You know, another thing interesting, I saw Brown walking up the floor, Jim, 0 for 8 on the day. He took that mouthpiece out again, threw it up in the air in total disgust. He is really down on himself right now. Not something you want going in the NCAA tournament.
Timeout called by Illinois. Powell hits 2 big free throws. Powell has 11 rebounds, tying a career high. Back up to 7 with 1 minute left. Expect we'll see from them.
Well, one of the things they will have to do, and it may be something that they need to think about now, starting to substitute offense and defense. When they go on defense, they're going to have to get 3 guards out there, because Illinois will surround them on the perimeter with Head, Williams, and Brown. He's got enough left in the tank to go out and press.
Well, Wisconsin's had its chances. They've missed their last 5 from the field when they were down by 5. And a turnover. And the arrow to Illinois. It's D. Brown on the floor.
Now, if you're Bo Ryan right now, you ought to substitute a guard in there defensively so that you can have some pressure. He's got, here he's going to have Tucker guarding Head. And so, you know, Head is a little bit too quick right now, as tired as Tucker is.
Timeout called by Williams. 48 seconds remaining with Illinois trying to go into the NCAAs with the Big Ten title. Illinois to inbound, has to go length of the court, but leading by 7. Wisconsin has gone over 4 minutes without making a shot after taking a 16-point deficit, cutting.
And here we see that change in the lineup, trying to get a little bit more quickness on the floor.
Over to Luther Head.
Augustine steps back. They're trying to foul now. And couldn't even get the foul. There they go. They're trying to foul Augustine.
Morley's to the line. This Illinois team residing at #1 in the rankings 14 weeks. And what's surprising You look at the history of the program at Illinois, they had only 2 previous years where they, at one time, held a #1 ranking, and those rankings lasted for only 1 week.
1 week.
1 week, back in 1952. And then again, they had the #1 ranking in 1984 for a week. But this year, 14 weeks. You would figure going into the NCAA tournament as well. So 2 free throws by Augustine.
That 52 team actually played in the first Final Four that had being held in Seattle that there ever was. There were national championships, but there were never 4 teams to the same site until 52.
Celebration Chicago. Executive producer of CBS Sports is Tony Petitti, and the coordinating producer of NCAA basketball on CBS is Bob Dekas. Today's game directed by Bob Fishman. At the half, produced by the senior producer of CBS Sports, Eric Mann, and directed by Bob Mattina. Coordinating producer of CBS Sports is Harold Bryant. The associate directors of today's game, Steve Karasek, Jonathan Siegel, and the broadcast associates, Josh Hall and Steve Murphy. Technical manager Rick Godwin, technical director, supervisor Jack Stocker. Thanks to Pat the Rat McGrath as well here in Chicago.
Well, Powell got some nice rolls on those free throws.
Morley, and Illinois closes it out by dominating the last minute. We'll have another Big Ten tournament title. It'll be the second one. An 11-point win for the Illini in a year over the Badgers. By 10, by 11, and by 11. There you go. Illinois takes the Big Ten.
And Jim, I think that Luther Head will be the MVP of the tourney. What do you think?
I have to agree. The consistency, his numbers almost identical in all 3 games.
Yep.
Today, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. We'll give Roger Powell, got to think, an all-tournament goal today, 15 and 12. Chevrolet with a $1,000 donation to each school's general scholarship fund. For Billy Packer, this is Jim Nantz saying so long from the United Center, where our final score is Illinois 54 and Wisconsin 43. Coming up next, the road to the Final Four. We'll see you on the selection show. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports, home of the men's NCAA basketball championship.
Welcome back, everyone, to the road to the Final Four. I'm Greg Gumbel, along with Clark Kellogg and Seth Davis of Sports Illustrated. The Big Ten championship belongs to the Fighting Illini of Illinois. 54-43, Illinois wins it over Wisconsin. Let's get back out to Chicago, rejoin Jim Nantz and Billy Packer. Jim.
All right, thank you, Greg. I'm here indeed with the Big Ten tournament champs. Congratulations to Illinois. And I tell you, it's the way you wanted to finish the season, obviously, with what has been a great season.
Well, it's always hard-fought games. Wisconsin's got a good ball club. Bo does a great job, and you know they got us last year 2 against 1. They won 2, we won 1. This year we got them 3-0, and we played great defense. We talked about clicking it in the defensive end in March. I think we did that, and we just couldn't get some shots done. I know Billy said he thought it was over. I thought it was over too, but we couldn't make some shots to finish some free throws. But we did win it, and you know, we just keep adding to that ring. Big Ten champs, now we got tournament champs, and we got another one we want to put on there.
It's an amazing thing to see how there's every game, whether it's Darren or Roger or, you know, D, on and on. James had a great tournament. Tell me about this team going into the NCAAs now.
Well, I think that's the best thing. If you focus on one guy, somebody else is going to make plays. Even our bench has been great all year. Jack, Nick coming off the bench. Rich McBride finally hit a shot. It took about 2 months, but he got one down.
Hey, wait a minute.
How about that? And then you got
and
Luther
Warren's
over
been
here.
good. Luther's been, you know, just they all been good. And obviously the guards are the guys that make us go. And well, we guard well. We run good motion. If we make some shots, we're really a good team.
Coach, it's been a wrenching weekend for you. Everyone knows how much has this group right here meant to you this weekend in the last 48 hours.
They're special guys, and you know, our staff does a great job all year. And you know, when we have distractions like that, we know somebody's going to pick up, whether it's somebody gets hurt, sick, or something like what happened, a tragedy that happened with me. So we have a great staff, great group of guys. They have great chemistry, and we think we have what can, you know, make the long run. We got to take it one game at a time.
Billy, you've been singing Luther's praise, praising him all week.
Well, I don't know what they're going to vote for, Luther. I voted you for the tournament MVP, so I hope it comes through for you. You played 3 outstanding games, very solid in everything that you did. That looked like you wanted the ball at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I think all our players want the ball at the end. I mean, it's just who it goes to. We try to step up and make some shots.
Hey, D, come on up here a second. Now, here's a man that played outstanding ball for you all year long. Certainly one of the great guards. I want to tell you something. Those shots will fall. I saw you take that mouthpiece out one time, throw it in the air, and say, hey, when's one going to drop here for me? But I know they're going to fall for you. What do you feel like?
I'm just happy that my teammates was able to make plays and just carry us through this game. You know what I mean? I just try to, when my shot's not falling, just try to play defense and get the hustle plays going for me.
Well, that's what you did. He was really working hard out there on the floor. You're too good a player to worry about those shots not going. Good luck to you guys this year. You can go all the way. There's no question about it. Just keep playing hard.
Aaron, good luck to you in the NCAAs. Guys, you ready? Get on that road to the Final Four?
We're ready. Hopefully we're in Chicago region. Great game, Roger. Way to play.
We'll have all that for you in about a half an hour, all right? Congratulations to the Illini, Coach Weber. And the road to the Final Four continues on CBS in a moment.